Gearlink Kawasaki was formed as a proper racing team in 2005. We started competing in the British Supersport Cup. It was just me, Norma, James and his father. We were running from a van, just really a very small setup, and we just grew and learnt a bit more and the team has grown.
The weekend's going right so far. I'm being in the top 3 all weekend, and in qualifying I just smashed pole time. We're joint pole on the grid for tomorrow with a 31.9. Well, my goals this year, hopefully stay in the top 3 where I am at the moment. I'm second in the championship, 4 points off the lead, so my goals are hopefully get that championship in the bag.
Having a pretty good weekend. We're constantly improving in each session, just moving forward and forward. Learning the bike. I only moved on to the ZX6 halfway through the season, so getting used to it. And yeah, hopefully for the rest of the year we can get the bike up towards the front when we get to the more wide open tracks that I'm used to, like Donington and Silverstone, and yeah, really start to make the most of the advantage of the ZX6.
Hedger and Jordan Simking elbow to elbow with Hedger, but a great start by Callan Cooper, making the most of that pole position. Coppice corner into Charlie's. We've got someone else exiting. Charlie, it is Hedger. Luke Hedger, having won at Alton Park and closed the gap to 4 points on Jordan Simkin, has crashed right at the start of this race. Callan Cooper takes the race win. Brilliant result for him. That will brighten up his season no end. His first victory of the year. Second place goes to James Lodge. 11th for Niall Campbell ahead of Matt Paolo, Mark Wilkinson, Twister Hastings and Ben Godfrey rounding out the point scorers.
These boys are my boys. I love them all to bits, and we've got a cracking team. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. My best friends are in the paddock. I just love the whole thing.
Ben actually won our first race for us in 2009 at Knock Hill on a bike, really the new 2009 model Kawasaki ZX600, which wasn't very competitive. And Ben stayed with us ever since. I think we just got a bit attached to him, and Ben's got a bit attached to the team.
Not had too bad a weekend so far. We won the first sprint race yesterday, which was good for me, and we clawed back some points in the championship. I like this track because it's got a jump. Everybody likes jumping around this place, and it's always fun. It's a local circuit for me. We only live about 40 minutes down the road, so it's fantastic to have the support that I've got here, and we're looking forward to this afternoon's race, and hopefully we can have a good result this afternoon.
At the end of 2012, I decided that I needed 2 top riders, and we had quite a lot of interest from riders, good riders, Alistair Seeley being one of them. Ben has upped his game a lot. He wants to be Alistair. There is a rivalry there that runs so deep. They don't dislike each other, they just want to beat each other.
Looking good for the race. Yesterday we chose to go with that softer tyre because it had been hooking up so well during the dry sessions, but for some reason within 2 laps with the softer tyre in the race it just seemed to be spinning too much. I had caught my teammate, we knew Ben was going to go out of the traps like he always does, pretty fast, and just sitting on the back of him, weighing him up, and I got a high side, and it was a pretty big one. I banged my head, grazed my elbow, my hip, and a bit of rib damage. The bike actually wasn't too bad, which is good. The mechanics didn't have too much work to do, and I got myself patched up, so now we're just getting prepared for the race later on. So yeah, I think after we get the first couple of laps over us and the adrenaline starts pumping, that's the best pain reliever you can get, and hopefully I can bring it home and get some good points on the board.
The switch goes on, the lights go off, and straight away, oh, what a snappy, jumpy start there from McConnell. But look at Seeley, the wee wizard flies to the front, and he takes the lead as they arrow up Coppice with Martrain Yamaha's Stuart Easton right behind him, and then Ben Wilson having burst through and forces Easton wide as they go round Charlie's, and suddenly it's a Gearlink 1-2. So the Gearlink Kawasaki's at 1-2 as they drop down the hill. And Billy McConnell running in 4th place, hasn't quite made the start that he wanted, but desperate Skippy McConnell to get himself into up to the front as Ben Wilson squeezes through brilliantly. So the man who knows and loves this circuit as well as anybody bursts his way to the front. The question is, will he make those tyres last across 16 laps, because he does tend to burn them up a bit. Wilson leads it by 2.8 seconds at the last count. Fastest lap on that was Wilson's at a 1:30.1. The only man near him, whilst executing those passes at the same time, was McConnell on a 1:30.23.
Look at Billy though, he's having a look up the inside of Seeley. Nice little Rossi dangle there as well. And he's through. And it's going to be interesting now to see what he's... I mean, obviously 3.2 seconds. Wilson should be able to control this race. Closed in a bit there. O'Halloran looking a clean pass there. A neat pass there. That's how you do it if you want to pass there. You've got 2 tough, hard men, aggressive men on their bikes, but it was still clean. They're still doing this fair.
Wow. So
he's having another look.
Now down the park straight. Ben Wilson, a legendary late breaker, but McConnell gets it later still and grabs the advantage for the Smiths Racing Triumph. Carry on their battle. Wilson right behind the Triumph. We know how quick the Gearlink Kawasaki is. He pulls out early from the slipstream. He gets the inside line down to Park Corner, but McConnell just elbows him aside, says, no, sorry, mate, no way through there. McConnell's still there. Australians running 1st and 3rd. Englishman 2nd, Scotsman 4th, and that might be the way it's going to pan out. Billy McConnell, is he going to take the first victory for Smiths Racing this year? The reigning champions get it. 2nd place, Ben Wilson. 3rd place, a hard-fought 3rd for Samsung Honda's Jason O'Halloran. Eastern 4th. Gowland finishes in 5th. Alistair Seeley finishes in 8th place. Could have been worse.
Happy with the results this weekend. We've got a 1st and a 2nd, so it's not a bad result for me and the team. So fingers crossed we can go better at the next round at Donington, but all in all, not a bad weekend.
We go racing to win races. That's what our aim is. We don't go racing for any other reason. Obviously, we want to enjoy it. It's a passion that runs so deep. I have a brilliant team. My guys are so passionate about what they do. They work endlessly. It's only a small team, but I've got guys that will work and work and work to get the results.